Mark chapter 2, 18 to chapter 3, 12th verse. Now John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting. And people came and said to him, Why do John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees fast? But your disciples do not fast. And Jesus said to them, Can the wedding guests fast while the bridegroom is with them? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast in the day. No one sews a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. If he does, the patch tears away from it. The new from the old, and a worse tear is made. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins. If he does, the wine will burst the skins, and the wine is destroyed. And so are the skins. But new wine is for fresh wineskins. One Sabbath, he was going through the grain fields. And as they made their way, his disciples began to pluck heads of grain. And the Pharisees were saying to him, Look, why are they doing what is not lawful on the Sabbath? And he said to them, Have you never read what David did when he was in need and was hungry? He and those who were with him. How he entered the house of God in the time of Abiathar, the high priest, and ate the bread of the presence, which it is not lawful for any but the priest to eat, and also gave it to those who were with him. And he said to them, The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord, even of the Sabbath. Chapter 3. Again, he entered the synagogue, and a man was there with a withered hand. And they watched Jesus to see whether
whether
he would heal him
he would heal
on the Sabbath,
on the Sabbath,
so that
so that
they might accuse him.
they might accuse him.
And he said to the man
And he said to the man
with the withered hand,
with the withered hand,
"Come here."
come here.
And he said to them,
And he said to them,
"Is it lawful
is it lawful
on the Sabbath
on the Sabbath
to do
to do
good
good
or to do harm,
and to do harm,
to save life
to save life
or to kill?"
or to kill?
But
But
they were silent.
they were silent.
And he looked around at them
And looked about them
with anger,
with anger,
grieved at their hardness of heart,
grieved at their hardness of God,
and said to the man,
and said to them, Man,
"Stretch out your hand."
stretch out your hand.
He stretched it out,
He stretched it out,
and his hand was restored.
and his hand was restored.
The Pharisees went out
The Pharisees went out
and immediately held counsel
and immediately held counsel
with the Herodians
with the Herodians
against him,
against him,
how to destroy him.
how to destroy him.
Jesus
Jesus
withdrew
withdrew
with his disciples to the sea,
with his disciples to the sea,
and a great crowd followed
and a great crowd followed
from Galilee
from Galilee
and Judea
and Judea
and Jerusalem
and Jerusalem
and Idumea
and Idumea
and from beyond the Jordan
and from beyond the Jordan
and from around Tyre
and from around Tyre
and Sidon.
and see.
When the great crowd
When the great crowd
heard
heard
all that
all that
he was doing,
he was doing,
they came to him,
they came to him,
and he told his disciples
and he told his disciples
to have a boat ready
to have a boat ready
for him
for him
because of the crowd,
because of the crowd,
lest they crush him.
lest they crush him.
For he had healed many,
For he had healed many,
so that
so that
all
all
who had diseases
who had diseases
pressed around him
pressed around him
to touch him.
to touch him.
And
And
whenever
whenever
the unclean spirits saw him,
unclean spirits saw him,
they fell down before him
they fell down before him
and cried out,
and cried out,
"You are the Son of God."
You are the Son of God.
And he strictly ordered them
And he strictly ordered them
not to make him known.
not to make